Welcome to the Fit Chicks and Hormones podcast, where we focus on all things midlife, hormones, and how to finally feel good in your body again. I'm Angie, a fellow midlife survivor, here to help you stop guessing and finally get results with hormone smart habits that actually work. Let's get started. Hey there. Let me guess. You've been doing all the things you used to do, but suddenly your body just isn't responding anymore. The weight's not budging, you wake up feeling tired, even after a full night's sleep. Your stomach feels bloated by the end of the day, and honestly, you just don't even feel like yourself anymore. And I get it. This stage of life, whether it's in perimenopause, menopause, or beyond, it can feel like your body has turned against you. But here's the thing. Your body isn't broken. You just need a new approach that actually works with your hormones, not against them. And this is exactly what I help women do in my 3-month midlife makeover program. This isn't about crash dieting, endless cardio. Instead, we focus on rebuilding your energy, balancing your hormones through nutrition and lifestyle, and creating strength in your body, which is going to help you to feel confident in your skin again. What makes this different is that it's not a one-size-fits-all plan. We work together to create a lifestyle that actually fits into your life and works at any stage of menopause. Because, let's be real, life is not going to stop just because your hormones are shifting. So if you're ready to stop fighting your body and finally start feeling like yourself again, feeling lighter and stronger, full of energy, I'd love to walk this journey with you. Click the link in the show notes to learn more about the Midlife Makeover Program. Your best years don't have to be behind you. This is just the beginning. Welcome back to the Fit Chicks and Hormones podcast. Today I'm talking about energy, or should I say lack thereof. Now, this is something that I've struggled with a lot over the past 10 years. And while I know that, at 53 right now, it may be a little bit age-related, but it's not something that should feel like you shouldn't be feeling daily exhaustion, right? There's a little bit of tired with age, but the exhaustion that's happening every single day is not something that is normal. So if you are struggling with energy, and I'm not just talking about in the afternoon, but talking about feeling exhausted and tired from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed, this episode is for you. And I'm really not talking about the just kind of, I didn't sleep well, because sometimes we don't sleep well, and that makes sense. But it's you're physically, mentally exhausted, and you just are struggling to function, okay? That's the kind of tired that I'm talking about. And if you are raising your hand going, yep, that is me almost every single day, I want you to know that it's not just you. I hear this from almost every single woman that I talk to or that I work with that are in their 40s, 50s, and beyond. And here's what I know is not helping. Me talking about focus on your nighttime routine, right? I say it over and over again. You probably have heard me say it a million times. But if what you are doing in your daily life is not on point, having a nighttime routine isn't going to be enough. It's not going to help you. I can guarantee it. I was there once too, doing all the things to make sure I got enough sleep, but I was still waking up exhausted, okay? So today we're going to talk about the things that are draining your energy, and maybe some things that you don't even know that are going on, okay? Then I'm going to give you some simple tips to help you start today having more energy and feeling better, okay? So first let's talk about why this isn't just a regular tiredness, okay? So when you hit your late 30s and beyond, your body starts playing by different rules. Your hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, cortisol, they're all shifting. And these aren't just female hormones, they're your energy hormones. These are what are giving you the energy to thrive every day. So I want you to think of your estrogen as your body's natural energizer bunny. As it starts declining in perimenopause, so it's shifting a little bit and then it goes down, right? You literally lose one of your main sources of cellular energy. And then there's the cortisol thing that I talk about all the time, your stress hormone. This often goes crazy too, leaving you wired but tired, right? Maybe you're so exhausted, but at the end of the day, you try to go to sleep and you can't sleep. But like I mentioned before, it's not just about getting older. These are specific things that are happening in your daily routine, or there are specific things that are happening in your daily routine that are just making this even worse, okay? So first I want to talk about the things that are draining your energy. And These are some pretty simple shifts that you can start doing today that are going to help you to get better energy in just a few days. Okay? And how do I know? Because these are a lot of things that I focus on when I start working with my client. So the number one energy drain is dehydration. How many days do you get to the afternoon only to realize you haven't really drank any water? I know my husband is guilty of this one. He'd be like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't have any energy. Oh, I'm kind of getting a headache. And I'll say, have you drank any water? To which he says, no. And then you're thinking, oh my gosh, now I have to drink all this water to make up for it. And then you end up all night long not sleeping because you're going to the bathroom, right? But here's the thing. By that time, your body is already dehydrated, which means your energy is going to drop by about 20%, okay? And this could be why you're experiencing those mid-afternoon slumps. And this is why I tell my clients, drink more water, but also add electrolytes to the water. This helps to replenish minerals that you're missing, and you can just easily add them to your water. Because sometimes our bodies just don't utilize the water. If you find yourself, you're drinking a lot of water and just going to the bathroom and peeing it right back out, you might want to add some minerals or some electrolytes or even some salt, something like that, that will help your body to absorb the water, okay? And if you're a coffee drinker, thankfully I'm not. I drink a cup of coffee, decaf here and there every once in a while, but if you drink a lot of coffee, I want you to know this. Every single cup of coffee that you drink, you need to add an extra glass of water to just even things out. Because when you drink coffee, it dehydrates you, okay? Otherwise, you're going to just feel more tired. Most people use it to give them energy, but what you're not realizing is it's dehydrating your body. So in the long term, or long end, by the end of the day, you're going to be even more dehydrated and more tired, okay? So a quick way to make sure that you're getting your water in and keep you from getting dehydrated is to start your morning with 16 to 20 ounces of water before your coffee. And if you want, add a pinch of sea salt, some lemon. I love doing salt in my water every single morning. Keep a water bottle nearby. I have one that I carry with me everywhere. If I'm in here, it's in here. If I go to the kitchen, it's in the kitchen. If I go in the car, it's in the car. If I go to work, it goes to work. It's always with me, always. If you drink out of a glass, that's fine, but you can't take it with you, so you probably won't have your water with you when you leave. So if you can get some type of water bottle, that would be great. Make sure that it's stainless steel and not plastic. And I'll talk about that in a minute. What I do at night is I have a smaller water bottle that I will fill up. I think it's probably 12 to 16 ounces. I'm not sure. I will fill that up, put it on my bedside in case I need water during the night. And then when I get up in the morning, whatever's left, I will drink it while I'm getting ready. That gives me a good jump start, because think about this. You haven't had any water for 7-9 hours, however long you've been in bed. Your body is dehydrated from the beginning. And then if you get up and you drink your coffee, it's dehydrating you even more. So bring some water to bed with you. Drink it right away in the morning, okay? This way you're front loading your hydration and not having to make up for it before you go to bed, which is keeping you up at night and not allowing you to get to sleep, which in the end is affecting your energy as well, okay? And like I mentioned, you can add some salt, some electrolytes. Actually is going to help your cells absorb the water instead of just running through you, like I mentioned. So I will do electrolytes. I have electrolytes recommendations. If you want them, reach out to me. I have my clients take them all the time. And I will do them in the morning when I wake up, and I will do them in the afternoon, always. I just make sure that because it also helps me to drink water. I don't love plain water, so by doing this, it helps me to drink more water as well. I also want to share something personally that I've been using that has been a game changer for my energy, and it's the Make Wellness Energized peptides. And first of all, let me explain what a peptide is really quick, because I think that these are super cool. And if you know me, you know that I don't ever promote anything that I don't use myself, that I don't truly believe in, that I don't think is going to help benefit your hormones or your health. So what peptides are basically small chains of amino acids. So think of them as tiny messengers that communicate with your cells to tell your body what to do. They're the building blocks that signal your body to perform specific functions, whether it's giving you more energy or muscle recovery or repairing your cells, which we also need as we get older, right? So what makes these make wellness peptides different is that they use bioactive precision peptides that are naturally sourced and designed to work directly with your body's natural processes at the cellular level. As we age, we want to restore our cells because that keeps us healthy. It's anti-aging, right? And what I love about these, that instead of giving you that like, ooh, a burst of energy, caffeine, right? We get the high and then we crash later. It doesn't do that, right? This gives you more sustainable energy throughout the day. And it also provides you with hydration. And for somebody like me that is very sensitive to caffeine, I can't do regular coffee. The energy drinks make me all shaky. These work great for me. I do not get that shaky feeling. I don't feel like that overstimulated, which I actually love. So what I do is I will put those in my water bottle in the morning because I don't want to do them in the afternoon because I don't want to affect my sleep. And sometimes I only even need a half a packet in here. And it's just enough of a boost, especially if I didn't get a good night's sleep or if I have an early morning, that's when I'll use them. So I love that they're clean ingredients. They're not filled with junk like some of those energy drinks are that actually cause health issues and then give people heart attacks. I mean, we've heard all that, right? But it actually works with what your body needs. So I'll leave the link to these energized peptides in the show notes if you want to check it out, or you can just message me on Instagram or Facebook if you have any questions about that. Okay, so energy drain number 2 is inflammation. Inflammation is huge. This one is so sneaky because you can't really see it or feel it directly. I want you to think of chronic inflammation like a small fire smoldering inside your body all the time. So your body's just constantly on fire, right? And processed foods will definitely feed on that fire. But so do things we don't think about, like not getting good sleep, being stressed out all the time, or even working out too much. These things also will cause inflammation if done improperly, okay? So when your body is dealing with inflammation 24/7, it's using up all of its energy just to keep your body, just to keep things under control, right? To keep your body functioning, to keep your body trying to move forward, trying to do what it needs to do on a daily basis. But when you have a lot of inflammation, your body can't do that. And that's why you can't get a full night's sleep and you wake up exhausted. Because your body was all night long trying to put out the fires instead of actually resting and restoring your body. It's like your energy is being used up to try and repair your body instead of making you feel good. So instead of processed foods, right, shop on the outside of the grocery store. Stay away from those middle aisles. There ain't really anything you need in there. Stay away from excess sugar, the inflammatory aisles. Try to add more anti-inflammatory foods to your meals, like put some berries in your yogurt, turmeric in your tea. You can take turmeric capsules. I take some of those every single day. You can eat some salmon. That's anti-inflammatory. I will not eat salmon because I don't love fish. Anybody that knows me know this, but salmon is a good option. Leafy greens are really good for anti-inflammatory. Put them in your smoothie. Put them in your eggs, whatever. These things will help to put out the inflammatory fire instead of feeding it. We don't want that fire to get burn bigger because then we feel horrible, right? And less inflammation equals more energy so that you can live your life. I'll tell you that almost every single challenge that I do with people online and all the stuff that I do when I'm working with my clients, when we remove inflammation from their body by cutting out the junk, cutting out the crap food, properly hydrating their body, taking away all the toxins that they're putting on their body, that they're using, their energy is the first thing that is restored. Every single time, within 3 to 5 days. What have you noticed? My energy is better. I have better energy. So if you are feeling exhausted and tired all the time, you have to do what you can to get rid of inflammation. I have tons of podcasts on this. So if you want to go back, look at those, listen to those. But 100% inflammation is fueling the fire and keeping you tired, okay? So focus on anti-inflammatory lifestyle. Energy drain number 3, too much high intensity exercise. I used to be addicted to cardio. Yep, I will admit it. Intense cardio too. Like, I remember the days of doing the Beachbody Insanity workouts with Shanti, and I loved them. I loved how they made me feel. I loved doing them. I loved being sweaty and gross and working hard that I felt like I was going to pass out. Yeah. And then a lot of my workouts were, even my weight workouts were cardio based, right? That was lifting weights faster, and I was lifting lighter weights. But in the past probably 5 years, I've realized, yeah, my body does not love those kind of workouts. Not only that, but I don't love them anymore either. What happens is they just tank me. They literally exhaust me. Even the little hit ones that we do now, I definitely can tell my body's like, whew, takes a little bit longer to recover. The next day, if I overdo it, I'm exhausted, okay? So why does too much high intensity exercise take away your energy? And I say too much because you can do HIIT, which is high intensity interval training, in moderation, but it should be limited to a max of 20 minutes. Because if you're doing longer than 20 minutes of high intensity, you're really not doing high intensity, right? And you should do it about 2 to 3 times a week and no more. That's it. And pay attention to your body. If you're exhausted when you're doing them, probably not a good idea, right? When your hormones are under stress already, right? Because when we're in perimenopause, menopause, hormones are kind of going down. They're just going all over the place. Doing intense cardio all the time is like trying to sprint when you're already running on empty. It actually raises your cortisol levels, and what happens then? Belly fat, right? Which messes with your blood sugar, and then your energy crashes, and you end up exhausted the rest of the day, or even the next day. That is what always happens to me. I will be exhausted the rest of the day, and it causes brain fog. The next day, I'm like, I just feel like I got ran over by a truck. So if you're experiencing that, and you're doing a lot of high-intensity exercise, it may be time to cut that down. Your body in menopause, whether it's perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopause, it just needs something different. It's craving more strength training, right? I talk about this all the time. You need to build the muscle, lift the heavy weights. And it needs more gentle movement, like going for a walk every single day. Less of that high-intensity push, push, push. In our boot camp workouts, we only do 1 HIIT workout a week. The rest are strength training and metabolic, which are both helping to build muscle. The 1 HIIT training a week is all we do. And that's all the ladies need. Because on the outside of that, they should be going for a walk. Just getting out in nature and just moving their body, right? And as you know, strength training builds muscle, which is your metabolic powerhouse. Gentle, so that's what we want. We want to build the muscle, stimulate the muscle, make us strong, give us more fat burning effect, right? And gentle movement, so going for a walk, or maybe it's yoga, maybe it's stretching, maybe it's foam rolling. This reduces cortisol instead of spiking it, leading to belly fat. What we're doing here is we're working with your hormones and what they need right now. We're not pounding against them so that they can't do what they need to do. It's actually about doing less and doing what works for your body right now. If you think you need to be working out 7 days a week, I'm going to tell you don't. I do 3 weight training workouts a week, and I walk every single day. And that's it. Sometimes I jump on the bike for about 10 minutes here and there, but that's it. That's all I do. And I'm able to get results. I was able to transform my body. Okay? And I have better energy. All right, so energy drain number 4, blood sugar swings. This one, I see this so often because when people show me what they're eating, I'm like, yep, that's going to cause blood sugar issues. So this is what most of us do, right? Because we are busy. We are women. We are busy. You get up in the morning. You're running late, so you skip breakfast. Or you just grab a muffin, or you grab a cookie, or you just grab some coffee and you head out the door. What happens? Blood sugar spikes. Then 10 o'clock, you're tired, you're crashing, you're like, oh, I'm so hungry. So you grab another coffee. We already talked about the coffee is dehydrating you, right? And maybe you add a snack. And it's a bagel at work, or Danish, or whatever they have available because you forgot to bring some food. What happens? You spike again and you crash. And that continues over and over and over again. And by 3 p.m., you just are ready to put your head down on your desk and go to sleep, right? Is that you? I find this often. And then what we do is we end up eating a ton of food at the end of the day, which doesn't help with our sleep because we can't digest it. The metabolism that we had in our 20s and 30s, it's not coming back. It is just not. Our insulin sensitivity is shifting right now, which basically means that our bodies don't handle sugar and carbs the same way. Now, I'm not saying you don't need carbs, because you do. You don't need the sugar. But you need the right kinds of carbs, and you need to eat them regularly so your body is used to them, right? I actually, even when I start to cut my carbs, my body will hold on to fat. If I bump it back up, I will lose fat. I will have more energy. Carbs, the right kind of carbs, provide you with energy, okay? You do need them. But what we also need is steady, consistent fuel throughout the day, not the ups and downs of sugar and carbs, right? When your blood sugar is stable, your energy is stable. When it's all over the place, you feel all over the place. Not to mention you don't have energy, you have mood swings, you have brain fog, and you just can't do what you need to do. So instead of grabbing whatever's quick, which is usually those carbohydrates, every single meal you eat needs to start with a protein. Then you need to add some fiber, which could be vegetables, and a starch, and some healthy fat. All of those are important in every single meal. So think apple and almond butter. That's a better option as you head out the door. Instead of just eating an apple. And I have a lot of my clients that will have, they think because the apple is healthy, and it is, but it's just sugar. You eat it by yourself, it's going to spike. It's not going to give you energy. Actually, if I eat an apple by itself, it will make me more hungry. I will need more food, okay? Or if you want to have oatmeal in the morning, have your oatmeal, but add some protein powder to that oatmeal, or some hard-boiled eggs, okay? Not just oatmeal with fruit. This combination of protein, fat, and fiber keeps your blood sugar stable for 3 to 4 hours instead of every 30 minutes you feel like you need to eat, which blood sugar spikes up and down, right? Stable blood sugar equals stable energy, which equals stable moods. Okay? So, eating the protein, eating the fiber, eating the fats. Every single meal. Energy drain number 5, low iron stores. Now, this is maybe one that you aren't aware of. And if you are still having a cycle, this is where you need to listen up. As you move into menopause, or I should say, if you have a cycle or you're moving into menopause, when your cycle is maybe a little bit more sporadic, right? Because as you're moving into menopause, because this happened to me, and I was skipping a cycle here and there, but it was also so heavy and clotty. It was horrible. I was in the bathroom changing my tampon every hour, and I barely could make it through an hour. So what is happening then, right? We're losing a lot of blood. And it's not just it's not just about being anemic here, but it's the low iron stores, which is super common when you have heavy cycles, when you have heavy periods, okay? These heavy periods are draining your iron every single month. And on top of that, as we get older, our stomach acid decreases, which means we're not absorbing iron as well from our food. Low iron means your red blood cells can't carry oxygen efficiently to all your cells. And without enough oxygen, everything feels harder. It's like trying to run your whole life on fumes, like you're just barely getting by. You're tired, you may feel weak, and you just can't figure out why nothing is helping, right? It could be, again, if you're someone who is having heavy clotting periods, or you're having really heavy periods, you're bleeding a lot, maybe you're having a period twice a month, it could be because you're losing a lot of iron. So, some natural ways to do this, because if you know me, you know that I like to do things natural to start, right? So front load iron-rich diet, iron-rich foods in your diet. So foods like grass-fed beef, dark leafy vegetables, spinach, lentils, pumpkin seeds. I've been craving pumpkin seeds. I don't even have a cycle anymore, but they've been so yummy. Easy to put in your smoothie, put on your yogurt. I even just put in my hand and ate them. But here's the thing. What you want to do is pair them with some vitamin C. So if you're having some spinach, squeeze some lemon on it. Or if you're have some berries with your breakfast. Vitamin C helps your body absorb the iron instead of just passing it through. Okay? And I will go into this in a minute here, but this is something that if that's what's going on, maybe you need to go and have your iron tested. If you're having a lot of heavy blood clotting periods, it may be something that you might want to check into, okay? Energy drain number 6. This is the thyroid issues. And maybe somebody already has one. Maybe you've never had one. I luckily have never had an issue with my thyroid. But your thyroid is basically your body's thermostat for metabolism and energy. And you know what loves to mess with your thyroid? All the hormonal changes, the stress, the inflammation that comes with perimenopause and menopause. Okay? And a lot of women, when you get to this point, maybe you're feeling tired and you go to your doctor and you ask to get your thyroid tested. And they test just the basics. They don't test what you actually need. And it comes back and they're like, everything's normal. But you still feel awful. You're cold, you're tired, you just feel like you're moving in slow motion, and you're just not feeling good. You know something is off, but they told you everything's normal. Well, what happens? You feel like it's your fault. But it's not. And what could be happening is your thyroid is not producing what it needs to. It's about your cells actually being able to use them properly, your thyroid hormones. So you could have something wrong with your thyroid. And it doesn't always show up in just basic lab work. There are other things that you can test. But your body knows there's something off. And if you feel that way, reach out to me or demand that you get other tests done. Or find a functional medicine doctor who will do them for you, okay? And here's another thing too, is that I've learned this, I didn't know all this, but as you're going through perimenopause and menopause, a lot of women actually develop Hashimoto's. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune condition where your immune system attacks your thyroid. The hormonal shifts of menopause can trigger this, especially if you're already dealing with a lot of inflammation and stress. So what you need to do is get tested. But standard thyroid tests, they often miss Hashimoto's entirely because they aren't checking for the proper thyroid antibodies. They're only looking at your TSH. You need to specifically ask for TPO antibodies and thyroglobulin antibodies to know what's going on. So go in, ask for them. First, ask for a complete thyroid panel. If you want to know what this is, ask me. I have actually a whole sheet of all the hormones that could be tested, but I have a sheet of the thyroid on there that I could share with you as well. You want a complete thyroid panel done. TSH, free T3, free T4, reverse T3, and both thyroid antibodies. Don't just accept the TSH test. That's not going to give you a full picture, and it's not going to give you what you want. It's not going to show you what is actually going on, okay? This is something that I've tested time and time again when I've had that low energy. Thankfully, it's never been my thyroid, okay? It's been other things, but it's never been my thyroid. So how can you start to support your thyroid naturally? If maybe you think, well, maybe that's what I got going on. Remember, start naturally first. You got to reduce the inflammation, which I talked about earlier, right? Cutting out the processed foods, cutting down on the stress, managing your stress, cutting down on the cardio, letting your body relax a little bit. So making sure you're getting enough selenium is also a good thing. So Brazil nuts are amazing for this. You can just have 2 to 3 a day. That's easy. And then, like I talked about, make sure you're getting enough sleep. Stress management, because chronic stress actually tanks your thyroid function. You have to practice stress care. You have to, okay? And if gluten bothers you, or if you don't think gluten bothers you, it might be worth just getting rid of it anyway, because there's a strong connection between gluten sensitivity and Hashimoto's. So gluten can be inflammatory. Get rid of it, and maybe that will help. Maybe that will support your thyroid. Maybe that will give you the energy. Maybe that's the one thing that's binding your body down, right? I can't do the gluten. I did a lot more on my vacation, and I definitely could tell that my energy was not there when I got home. All right, so last one is energy drain. Number 7 is your overwhelmed liver. Our poor livers, they have to do so much. They should deserve a medal for what they have to do. Your liver is trying to process all your fluctuating hormones and detoxify everything from your skincare to the glass of wine you had last night. And not only that, but it's trying to keep up with all the other jobs it has to do. Balancing blood sugar, making sure your metabolism is working, right? Your liver gets overwhelmed trying to do all the things. And what happens is things start backing up. It can't convert your thyroid hormones as efficiently. It struggles to balance your blood sugar, and it can't clear out the extra estrogen the way it should. And what happens? You feel tired, you feel foggy, and just kind of blah. It's that constant low level of exhaustion that makes everything harder than it should be. Your poor liver. But here's the thing, we can support our liver, we can show it some love, and this is how. First, if you are consuming alcohol during the week, maybe cut it out during the week. Cut it out during the week, maybe on the weekend if you want, but start with the week. I know that, we all love that evening glass of wine to unwind, or that whatever it is to reward ourselves after a long day, but your liver needs those alcohol-free nights so it can do all the other things it needs to do. Because if you are drinking alcohol, that's the first thing it's going to focus on, and that's going to take forever, and then it's not going to be able to function on all the other stuff it needs to do. Okay, so try cutting out on the alcohol. And then add some liver-loving foods to your routine. So beets, leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts, bitter foods like arugula and dandelion greens. These will actually help your liver to do its detox work more efficiently. You can also just take milk thistle. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Milk thistle is a supplement that you can take to help support your liver. So if you've had a lot of issues with your liver, or you're someone who has consumed a lot of alcohol, it might be something that you want to add. Dandelion root tea is another one. You can get them in a tea form. You can get them in a supplement form, whatever. Milk thistle has been used for centuries to support liver health, and there's actually really good research behind it. So support the liver. It supports the liver. It helps it do what it needs to do. But you also need to quit bombarding it with all the toxins, all the junk, right? And not just the food you're putting in your body, not just the alcohol you're putting on your body, not just the stress you're going through, but take a look at what you're putting on your body, on your skin. So your skin absorbs everything. So switching to cleaner personal products, even just doing one at a time, replacing them as you get rid of them, reduces the toxic load that your liver has to process. I've done a podcast on this. You can go back and find that. If you want to know what it is, just reach out to me and let me know. And here's something I want you to be aware of. Eating enough protein and fiber is actually beneficial to your liver. So your liver needs amino acids, which you get from the protein, to do its detox work. And fiber helps to bind the toxins. So you need the protein to help your liver do its detox work, and then the fiber takes those toxins and flushes them out, right? Gets rid of them so they don't continue to circulate through your body. Because when they circulate through your body, that's when estrogen dominance happens. That's when you experience all those hormonal symptoms. And then another thing you can do is sweat. Sweat a lot. I was just in North Carolina with 88 degrees and a 90+% humidity. I definitely sweat out a lot. My liver was happy. I guess it was detoxing all the stuff that I was putting in it, right? So how do you sweat regularly? You can do it through exercise, you can do a sauna, you can do a hot bath. This actually helps your body eliminate the toxins. So it takes more pressure off your liver. We just need to be kind to our liver. And something that I've started doing ever since, I think it was when I got sick in December, is I've started using castor oil packs, and I love them. But I also found, because they can be kind of messy or whatever, and it's kind of time consuming a little bit, the big castor oil pack goes over the whole stomach. Sometimes I'll put it directly over the liver, but it's about this big of a patch. Put the castor oil on it, slap it on. I'll put a heating pad on it while I read my book before I go to bed. But I found these patches, little patches. If you want to know what they are, let me know. There was a lot of them that said they leave red marks really bad. These, the ones that I have, just do for like a day and then it goes away. But they're little patches that go over your belly button. So if I don't feel like doing the whole castor oil pack, I can put the castor oil in my belly button and then put the patch over it for the night. That also will help to detox, okay? So simple and easy, and it's not messy, doesn't make a mess, doesn't get all over everything. So that is awesome. And again, anything to support the liver. So those are the things that I feel you need to start with first if you want to get your daily energy back, because they are the most simple. They're the most simple. And just to recap here, we got number one, we want to drink your water, right? Stop being dehydrated. We want to get rid of inflammation. We want to cut down on the high intensity exercise and lift the weights. We want to balance our blood sugar with the protein and the fiber and the fat. We want to restore our low iron if that's something that's happening, going on. We want to focus on thyroid. How can we balance our thyroid? How can we make our thyroid happy? Is it something we need to get tested for? And then fixing our liver. Loving on our liver. Okay? So those are what we start with first, because they're simple. Everyday things you can do, right? But there are a few other things that can cause energy that I just wanted to quickly mention, because if you're already doing all those things that I talked about and you're still not getting the energy that you feel you should have, it might be worth looking further into these things. And I'm going to go over these just super quickly. So first is gut dysfunction. So if you're dealing with things like bloating, irregular digestion, or food sensitivities, now remember, you've done all these other things first, and a lot of them will fix these. But if not, you might have SIBO or leaky gut, and that could be preventing you from absorbing the nutrients that your body needs to give you energy. It could be an adrenal dysfunction. It goes beyond just having high cortisol. Your entire stress response, the HPA axis, might be dysregulated. Maybe you have a magnesium deficiency. This mineral is involved in over 300 reactions in your body, and most women are deficient without knowing it. Easy, take your magnesium. I have every woman I work with start on magnesium right away. Maybe you have poor circadian rhythm, so maybe you're exposing yourself to too much blue light at night. You're getting inconsistent sleep, so you're going to bed at 10 o'clock one night and then 2 o'clock in the morning, and then you're getting up late and you're sleeping in, or whatever it may be. This all disrupts your natural energy cycles. When you are consistent with your sleep and your circadian rhythm, your energy is going to be better. And maybe you have some chronic infections like Epstein-Barr virus, candida overgrowth from too much sugar. Cut out the sugar and that'll go away. Or even parasites that maybe you have somehow gotten. These can also be stealing your energy. Okay? So these are a little bit more complex issues that often need personalized support to address. So if you're hearing yourself in any of these might be a sign that maybe you need to dig a little bit deeper. If you would love to go into that deeper and figure out what's going on and what you need to do to get that energy back, you can reach out to me. We'll have just a simple conversation talking about what you're doing, what's going on, what are your goals, how would you like to feel, so we can get to the root cause of what's going on and then make a plan, put together a plan, okay, so that you can start having the energy that you so desire, that you can thrive with and live, because we want to have the energy to do all the things we want to do, okay? Before I wrap this up, I want you to think about this week. Do a quick energy audit. Rate your energy 1 to 10 in the morning when you wake up, middle of the day at 10 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, so morning, 10, 2, and then 6 o'clock in the evening, okay? Notice any patterns. Are you crashing at the same time every day? If not, is it random? Most often, if you're doing something wrong, or something, I should say wrong, but if you're doing something that's causing it, it's going to happen a lot at the same time. Then start implementing some of the things that we talked about. And if you've already been doing these things, you're already doing all the things I talked about consistently, because that's key here. Some people will try it for 3 or 4 days and be like, it's not working. No, 4 to 6 weeks. When I work with clients one-on-one personalized, it's 3 months, because that first 4 to 6 weeks is we're just trying to figure out what is going on with your body and how we can support it and what we actually need to be doing. So if you've been doing it for 4 to 6 weeks, but you're still dragging, you still don't have that energy, let's have a conversation, or you could do some testing. So doing that thyroid test that I talked about, maybe doing an iron test. You could look at your B12 and your folate, vitamin D. So many of us are low in vitamin D. Or maybe you need a complete metabolic panel. Ask your doctor. Most of them won't run all of these. I can run these labs. So if we get on a conversation and that's something we need to do to move forward, we can do that. But I want you to really just stop for a moment and think, why? Why am I feeling so tired? Because that tiredness and that fatigue in your body is your body's way of saying that it needs something deeper. It needs more attention. And you just need to listen to it, okay? It's not just because you're getting old. Some of it may be a little bit, but it's not, okay? You deserve to feel vibrant. You deserve to feel energized. You deserve to feel amazing and wake up excited about your day instead of dreading it and not wanting to get out of bed. And if this is how you're feeling and you're looking for some personalized support, something you won't get from your primary doctor, I would love to have a conversation with you to see how I can help and then talk about a plan. So check the show notes to set up a call, or you can just reach out to me. The calls are free, free 30-minute calls, consult calls, or strategy calls, whatever you want to call them. We'll just have a conversation. Or you can reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, and we can get started from there. If this episode resonated with you, or if you hear somebody in the office or your family member or whatever talking about being tired all the time, please share it with them. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more episodes. I appreciate you. I love all the support that you can give to me because I love educating you about all these things so that you can feel your absolute best. Thank you so much. Until next week, have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in. If today's episode hit home, make sure to subscribe to the show and share it with a friend who needs it too. And if you're ready for more support, come hang out with us in the Fit Chicks and Hormones community. The link is in the show notes. And until next time, keep showing up for yourself. You deserve it.